Welcome back. You're watching In Business. State lawmakers this week passed an increase in the room tax for Clark County. The up to 3% increase is expected to generate about $230 million. That revenue will initially go into the general fund and is earmarked for education beginning in 2011. The governor pledged not to sign nor veto the bill, which means it will eventually become law without his signature. Now, that's despite his previous comments indicating he would support it.
And Nevada casinos started the new year off on the wrong foot. The Gaming Control Board reports the state's gaming win fell 14.5% in January to $908 million. Clark County's haul dropped 16% to $777 million. The Boulder Strip and downtown casinos saw the sharpest declines in southern Nevada.
The world's second largest gaming company is likely to default on its debt. Now, that's the word from Moody's Investors Service, which added MGM Mirage to its bottom rung list. That list is made up of 283 U.S. companies that Moody's claims is in danger or are in danger of defaulting on their loans. Moody's added MGM Mirage to the list this quarter. The gaming giant has $8.1 billion of debt, with $1.3 billion of that due this year. Moody's also cut a key rating for MGM Mirage. The investment company increased its probability of default rating for the gaming giant, citing the valley's soft economy. Moody's maintained a negative outlook for MGM Mirage. Moody's also lowered the same rating for the Las Vegas Sands Corporation.
And the Las Vegas Sands Corporation will soon be operating under a new president that's beginning in April. Sands board member Michael Levin will assume the position April 1st. He replaces longtime president William Widener, who abruptly resigned this week. Widener cited outstanding differences with chairman and CEO Sheldon Adelson over the company's direction. Widener has advocated a more conservative approach than Adelson, and Sands stock has plummeted in the past year, and some analysts say the company could default on its bank covenants by 2010.
Crown Limited, Dana, is calling off plans to buy Cannery Casino Resorts, at least for now. Crown Limited is controlled by Australian billionaire James Packer. The deal would have included 3 Nevada casinos and the Meadows Racetrack and Casino south of Pittsburgh. Instead, Cannery Resorts will get $370 million from Crown, which is consisting of $50 million in cash and a $320 million non-voting investment. Crown Resorts will have a 2-year option to complete its purchase. Harrah's Entertainment reported a loss in the fourth quarter. The company lost $4.8 billion. That compares with a fourth quarter loss of $56.1 million in 2007. The company blames the worst 2008 results on a one-time charge of $5.5 billion to write down assets.
The owner of Terrible's Casino this week reached agreement with lenders on a prepackaged Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Dana, the deal would split HERBST Gaming into 2 separate operations. Channel 8's Edward Lawrence has the details.
It's an unmistakable and prevalent name around southern Nevada. In order to survive, HERBST Gaming will split under a prepackaged Chapter 11 bankruptcy filing. The casinos will be separated from the Nevada slot routes. Those are the machines inside HERBST gas stations and taverns across the state. The lenders will own 100% of the casinos. The 3 HERBST brothers will own 90% of the Nevada slot routes under the plan.
It really is kind of a return back to what they started with, to what they've been doing since 1987, so they've got probably more experience in it than anyone else in the state.
Dave Schwartz runs the UNLV Gaming Research Center. He says the expansion of buying casinos that started in 2005 and 2006 buried the company in this bad economy.
Yeah, if you look at the balance sheet, they are making money in the operations. It's just that the debt is so much and the restructuring costs are so much that that's where they've been getting hit.
Schwartz adds that they would have been okay if the economy held. Schwartz says focusing on just the gaming slot routes for the HERBST family will still be difficult to make money. He says there are a number of challenges to overcome, the biggest of which is Nevada's smoking ban. Since the ban, gaming revenues have been down along the slot routes. For 22 years, it has been the lifeblood for the terrible HERBST name.
Yeah, well, they started out with gas stations with the grandfather, Ed Herbst, back in the 50s, and went into slot route operations, which fly under the radar pretty much, although they're pretty lucrative.
The founder's 3 grandkids will fall back on it again to keep moving forward. Edward Lawrence, Channel 8 Eyewitness News.
A company spokesman says the deal enables HERBST Gaming to avoid laying off workers or closing any casinos.
Boyd Gaming is proving to be an ardent suitor to Station Casino. Station's rebuffed Boyd's offer to buy much of the debt-ridden company, but Boyd issued a statement saying it is not giving up and remains interested. Station is trying to get bondholder approval for a prepackaged bankruptcy. Observers say Boyd's public campaign is designed to give bondholders an alternative to the plan favored by Station Casinos.
This week on Face to Face with John Ralston, former gaming regulator and longtime attorney Jeff Silver said casinos erred by banking on the good times.
We responded to that economy probably in a manner that was too exciting for us. We responded to the tax issues by acquiring more debt to reduce our taxes. And then we got caught up in the fact that we could have private equity funds come in and invest in properties where the exit strategy was to either go public or to sell the asset because of its escalating values. And all of that caught us unawares.
Silver says the gaming industry is a microcosm. He says the same problems face other businesses around the country. The White House is clarifying its position on corporate junkets to Las Vegas. President Obama touched off a local firestorm last month when he chastised companies that receive bailout money for taking trips that may be unnecessary.
You can't get corporate jets. You can't go take a trip to Las Vegas or go down to the Super Bowl on the taxpayer's dime.
The president's comments prompted a handful of companies to cancel their trips to Las Vegas and sparked criticism from local officials, including Mayor Oscar Goodman, who demanded the president apologize. This week, White House Press Secretary Robert Gibbs said the president never tried to dissuade visits to Las Vegas.
What the president expressed some concern about was companies that are getting large amounts of public funding, taxpayer funding, through a financial stabilization plan, that the president does have great concern with public money being used for that. I think the president, despite what some people heard, I think was very clear about the delineations between families or even businesses traveling versus the need to ensure that appropriate protections are in place for taxpayer assistance that are used to help financial institutions stabilize themselves.
The Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority says trade show and convention cancellations have cost Southern Nevada about $130 million. A print ad from the LVCVA and national publications urges businesses to stimulate the economy by considering Las Vegas in their travel plans. And work on the interior of the Cosmopolitan stopped this week. Deutsche Bank, which took control of the project through foreclosure, is looking at possible redesign plans. Now Hilton Hotels is said to be interested in the project. The Las Vegas Sun reports Hilton may bring a new eclectic brand called Denizen Hotels to Las Vegas and specifically to the Cosmopolitan. The Sun reports Hilton executives have been working out of the site for months. No comment on that story from Hilton Hotels.
And when in business, Las Vegas returns a bill before Congress would make it easier for labor unions to organize workers. We'll hear from an opponent.
Plus, the Bureau of Land Management steps in to kickstart green energy development in Nevada. We'll tell you about it when we come back.
You're watching In Business Las Vegas with Jeff Gillen and Dana Gentry, a program presented in partnership with the Las Vegas Sun, Cox Communications, and KLAS TV.